Hello and welcome to a very special Jujutsu Kai quest. I'm Sam.
And I'm Jim.
And we're back for a very special movie. Not Movie Monday, I guess, but
No.
it's gonna be
Even better. Movie Friday.
Ooh, even better. Movie Friday. It's gonna come out a little late for Friday. Probably movie Saturday.
It'll probably come out on Saturday. Who cares?
Who cares? We're back.
What do we watch?
We're
Sam?
back. We're back in Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen 0. We just got back from the movies, seeing the sub.
In a packed theater.
Yeah, pretty packed. Pretty overall opinions though. I like this a lot.
I was super into it. We talked about it a bit in the theater and after in the car ride home.
Yeah.
But I just this really is everything that I like about Jujutsu Kaisen.
It's Jujutsu Kaisen good stuff.
It is. It's so funny that technically this material was written before the series.
Yeah. So did you have any information about this actual source material?
Yes. So this originally was a manga.
Yes.
So I don't see how long it was.
Was this a mini series that he did in Shonen Jump before he actually
Not in Jump. So
Really?
it's only one volume. So it was called Tokyo Metropolitan Curse Technical School. And it was serialized in one of the other Jumps that Shueisha has called Jump Giga.
Okay.
So it only ran from April to July. So it's probably 4.
Yeah,
it's probably about 4 issues or 4 chapters. So that was in 2017. Then, when they launched Jujutsu Kaisen a year later, they retroactively titled this Jujutsu Kaisen 0. So technically, they made it a prequel, but it's not. Jujutsu Kaisen is technically a sequel.
Interesting.
Yeah, but for the terms of the series, I guess.
They have some of the characters slight modify their appearance. We'll just change Gojo's eye bandages and maybe a different color. Give Maki some other glasses.
Okay, thank you for saying that, because I was I kept looking at him and I was like, wait, something's different about him.
Yeah, it was white badge instead of black.
Yeah,
Because it probably be easier to have to color it in.
I mean, they still gotta...
I know, but still, it just,
It definitely gives him a different look. Everyone has redesigns pretty much. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Maki just has round glasses pretty much. It's her change, but I still like Maki. A lot of Maki's outfits and designs in this movie are... As a certified Maki simp, got a good.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this.
I think Togi's hair was different. Is his change? Is that because he had the issue? He had the mop before in the show where he had spiky hair in this one.
Okay.
And then
he didn't have his he had a scarf on kind of covering his mouth instead of his little
and I think
mouth guard or whatever.
Geto didn't have the scar on his forehead yet.
Mm-hmm. So this movie technically came out in December in Japan, so December 2021. So all things considered, we got it just a few months later, so that's not too bad, especially for these I know Jujutsu Kaisen's a huge series.
Yeah,
I have people at my job that I talk to about it, my normie job, which is funny. So it also was directed by Sung-Hoo Park, who did direct the
first season.
Yeah, the first season, and also God of High School. So he's Korean, which is cool.
He made some god tier fights by that tail end of that first season, man.
Yeah, and there's so much of that energy. We've talked about it before. Jujutsu Kaisen felt like it kind of ramped up.
Yes, this movie, especially the first half, is kind of slow, but then once the second half it just goes.
Yes, it really kept going, and
just speed runs.
I was shocked at because they do the thing
it
later
felt
on.
The first half felt like two episodes of the show.
Yes, yeah.
Of just he's going on the intro, and then he goes on a midi adventure with two of the new classmates that he has, and that's and then we get to the actual bad guy plan and plot.
All things considered, I thought the structure was pretty good.
Yeah.
Because
it also
you need the build up. You need to have the build up for the payoff.
It did feel like the first the prologue. I guess this came before Jujutsu Kaisen that was explaining everything again. But not nearly as long in detail, because remember how we had to talk about the ranking system, the power scaling system, and everything?
They put almost no effort in explaining
other
it.
than just there's 4 grades and then there's specialists. And there's only 4 specialists, which they made a big point of in this one compared to the other show.
And honestly, it worked better in this movie.
Yes.
In the show, it was because they
and you see the power scaling go off, because you see there's 4 specials where we know is Gojo, Geto, and Yuta. And I don't think we know the 4th one yet in the show.
I don't think so.
And yeah, you kind of see their power scaling, especially when the first time Yuta walks into the classroom, and you kind of see that the energy is the menacing coming from him.
Yeah, that scene was awesome. The way it looked was so cool.
Yeah, and we know about Gojo from watching the series, but it's a really awesome Gojo fight, but we'll get to when we get to
Gojo just gets he gets to have fucking some epic moments.
But more so with Geto. But actually, should we just go and order the show, or just I guess they're talking about characters like in the moments they have?
I was talking about like the movie.
Yeah,
we can go through the plot. I think that's a good way to structure this.
Yeah, because intro is Yuta, where and like he has basically a stand, essentially just a superpowered like demon that follows.
Yes.
That's his like basically his like grade school like girlfriend. And that got hit by a car and then came back as like evil like spirit essentially that just destroys everything that harms him.
Yeah, so it's really interesting, and I think it's like I love comparing him to Yuji because we don't like Yuji that much. Famously, he's grown on us, but
he's fine. He makes some epic punches, but like as a protagonist, he's kind of boring and being good at everything. Where like we kind of like Yuta has like fucking like mental trauma compared like stuff that he has to like get over and like and you know it has this whole relationship, his whole power thing. The Suna thing is not nearly as like this is like cursed to him as this is to, because Yuji just throws himself because like I'll kill myself because it'll heal me. Where like this Yuta's like I don't want to fucking fight. If I get into any kind of trouble, she just comes out on her own and kills people.
Yeah, Yuji. So first of all, I mean, not to like be nitty gritty, but or like whatever, not to be super like whatever granular, but like Yuji's whole thing about being like the strongest man in Tokyo and like all this stuff, he's like so perfect. And even with Sukuna, with the fingers, it's like immediately we have like this long shonen element of like, okay, well he's got to collect the fingers and like we're kind of counting towards it. But with Yuta rather. Yuta's whole thing is like a way more like personal struggle.
Yes.
Like it's this like thing that early on he kind of deduces what the problem is.
His backstory is
he still has to work up to it.
His backstory is way more interesting than my grandfather rolled over and died.
Rolled over and died.
And like, where you have Yuji who just abandoned his friends that he had in his high school.
He didn't give a shit about this.
Where he's afraid, and this guy he's afraid to make friends because he doesn't let them get hurt, as we saw. Because like when he walked through the classroom the first time, they all like threaten about to kill him, and she just comes out and like beats the shit out of them all.
What was it, Junpei? It's funny because Yuta feels kind of like a mixture
yes.
of Yuji and Junpei.
It definitely does.
Which it's funny because he came before them.
And Junpei went the other way, where Yuta went through the power of friends, where Junpei went, I'm going to become a school shooter. Like,
maybe that's kind of what the writer was going for, was like, okay, I'm going to kind of take this character idea and make him go bad.
And he kind of does a similar thing where, like, instead of... He does Mojito as the one to be like, you are my main villain now. I'm going to kill you now for what you did to him. Like you did to my friend. Like I'm gonna I'm gonna destroy you essentially. Yeah. He kind of did that again, but yeah. We basically just the same. And his interest is also very similar to from what we saw in the original show, where like he's like has this special thing, but Gojo takes a liking to him and like wants to see the power. He has this curiosity of just like I need to see like what we don't understand completely.
It kind of made Yuji feel less special because in the show it's like Gojo cares so much about Yuji, but in this it's like oh no, you see Gojo just really cares about like his students.
But also just like. I want to see where this goes, and like also the other thing is like if it goes out of control, I'll kill them. But also like if you decide to kill him, I will be on his side essentially before I finish my experiment. Where you get the same thing of him being kind of like a weirdly morally gray like teacher character that's also overpowered, so you can't really do the whole thing. Like you can't do anything against Gojo though.
Yeah, we were talking about this too. Like Gojo is one of those characters that's like. He's kind of broken because he's too strong.
But we didn't get this much character from him, or we did in the first season compared to this movie, where you actually get some of like the backstory with the main villain, which
which those little teases were really good.
The villain stuff was so much better than the fucking show had. The first season had.
I know.
Like I want to follow this group of villains more than the fucking band of losers.
Yeah, very compelling. Geto as a character, was so awesome.
We had none of his backstory in that first season. I'm just like, this is character I'm like entirely interested in, and his cult that he has. Like he's this hot secretary. He's got like these two crazy children that we got like, a brief like glimpse of like their story of like them being abused and him just killing the abusers and everything.
Which is like it makes them, to me, like I totally like sympathize with them.
Yes,
like
I understand them where they come from more than like Mojito or
all
Krakatoa.
These curses. Like I can't relate to curses.
Yes.
Like it takes a lot for me to relate to Krakatoa. What's his name? I think his name's Jogo.
Yeah,
Because I remember it was
yeah.
the Gojo versus Jogo fight.
Yeah, the crack or the called the lobster,
Who was actually a cuttlefish.
and we had the nature for.
Himari was the plant. Hitamari.
I guess curses being related to like natural like this like nature stuff. I guess is like,
Yeah,
the
that's
theme
kind
of
of
that.
the theme. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't attach to them more than like these human curses. We didn't get a glimpse of like what they could do either. It was just sad, but I want to see more of them.
It's
Like,
teases.
I
Oh,
want
it's
to see
just
them more, but they're not in the
teases.
first season. I'm like,
I know.
I want to see these characters.
It's a long game.
But yeah, and he kind of gets thrown to the school now with the Maki.
So yeah, what happens is like he ends up killing 4 kids.
Yeah, gravely injured.
No, those kids
I know.
are fucking
I know.
dead.
They said they covered it up and just said they were gravely
It
injured.
said grave wounds, which I
They were
mean,
essentially
means dead.
they were like de-skinned like in the fucking locker.
Yeah, they were like
very
fucking puttified.
The rat from part 4 where this made like the meat cube people.
Yeah, which is insane. So I really like that opening. The opening of the movie is really, as you said, really slow.
Also, I like how
very
like
emotional.
the movie also like chronological like had like a times thing of like all these important events that happened. Like the first time he used like manifested, the second time like these key events that are like important to this like timeline.
It's like a historical record.
Yes.
Like the screen goes black and it like we'll say like December 25th. Like Santa came and the first time Santa manifested.
That's Chainsaw Man, Jim. But yeah, so we get we basically you get the same thing what happened with in the beginning of first season where he gets drafted, he gets basically forcibly taken to the school with Gojo being like, what do you like you get bad being lonely, which is like the opposite of Junpei where like he was lonely and like didn't really get that friendship too much.
Yeah, well, he did. Yuji was his friend.
Yuji and Mojito
he just had one bad day.
Were manipulated friends.
He just had one bad day that Joker fight him.
Yeah, he became the Joker. His mom got killed.
But I was really surprised because next we're introduced, like he gets introduced to the first years who we recognize as the second years.
Our favorite characters, Maki, Panda, and Togi.
Togi. Yeah, and it's really fun because, like, obviously we know these characters. Maki is such a bitch. She's such a tsundere.
She's great. I love her.
Very fun.
But she's a tsundere, but she doesn't always stay a tsundere. She's like she does warm up to people.
And Sam, that's what tsunderes are.
I know.
That's what tsunderes are.
I watch too much Uno where the tsunderes stay just evil bad people and don't ever warm up.
But yeah, it's just really fun seeing the characters again.
I love that intro of just like him coming in there with like they just see the curse energy just like erupting from him and it's really
immediately fight or flight mode. Like,
yeah, it's that bad. But they also see like, oh, Gojo didn't explain anything to him. What the fuck is this idiot?
Yeah, he didn't explain anything to him or to them. Yeah, he doesn't even realize like what kind of school he's in. He just thinks he's like a new school. And that's the first time we actually see the curse.
The one little thing I do like though when he introduces like all the schoolmates though, he says everybody first like what their arts are, and then like, oh, this is Panda, and doesn't explain anything.
And it's so funny. So yeah, we watch the sub, and he's literally just says Panda. Like he doesn't even say like this is. He just says Panda, which I love.
Like, that's what I want to know the most about.
Yeah. There's a lot of little callbacks to like jokes and stuff. There's like just overt fan service later on, which I was all here for.
Yeah.
This is the series that I want fan service for.
Yes, but like you said, you did see it manifest for the first time coming through the chalkboard. It was really cool,
and it looked like it like hurt everyone too. That was the thing. Like there was kind of they did the funny like big bump head
bandages on Maki's forehead, like a giant band-aid.
I think Panda had like a little stuffing coming out of his head or something.
Even though that's supposed to be the biggest secret of the show.
Yeah, right.
I looked at that first with Panda, but they should have tell you what Panda is for the most part. If you want more detail than a flashback, watch the first season, I guess.
But it starts off like pretty contained, which I thought was really smart.
Like I said, it felt like an episode of the show where like he's going there, and then the first thing he does is very similar to the first, because I remember the first season had the
poison womb.
Poison womb. You have to go to school with Megumi and Nobara, and they just had that adventure. Which
actually, that wasn't technically the first one. The first time we went was when we saw Nobara's power. That was a different one. That was the one with the Yu-Gi-Oh card reference that you always point out.
I forget.
It's the one. It's like the funny.
Oh, the Ojama. Yeah.
Because I think that was like episode 3 when they introduced her, and then her and Yuji have their like tag team.
Yeah, it's very similar to both of those, where he's kind of like paired up with 2 people, and like the parents are waiting outside the chaperone.
Yeah, Gojo, because Gojo knows like this whole thing is kind of like a Gojo test.
Yeah, Gojo's testing to manifest his spirit at full power to see what it can do and see if it actually like qualifies for the specialist. So yeah, if you pair it off with Maki and they go off to the school to rescue kids, and yeah, they have them.
This is where Maki just gets to have some really cool scenes. Like this is the first like real Sakuga that we see.
Maki spinning her staff animation.
Yeah, that part I was like, yeah, I was so excited because like Maki's fight scenes are always really fun to watch because she always just gets so much movement.
They really love that staff animation.
Yeah, which I really like that they focused all on that because like later on we see her use like other weapons, but in
which
the show,
we do,
And this I think is mosely just the staff.
Yeah, it's mostly just her the what's it called, the Naginata.
I think so.
And we don't.
It's called a Nagatoro, Sam.
Nagatoro. No. God, no! Can you imagine they summon that at the end of season 1?
That curse.
Oh my God, that would be a manifestation.
That would be your curse.
That's his curse. That's like what the main character of Nagatoro's curse is.
Nagatoro.
My curse. Fuck yeah. But yeah, so we have an adventure with that, and yeah, we get some really nice animation, and like just the one cool thing was like they walk through school and they see like some like the minor spirits, and like they're all like kind of like scared of him.
Yeah,
like that's really kind of cool.
It's really cool. And we mentioned earlier like how Yuji's whole thing is that he's just like naturally really good.
He's like,
but Yuta has like this inherent like demon inside him that makes it really compelling.
It reminds me of like, okay, imagine if Broly from Dragon Ball Z just didn't have like, he couldn't hide a power level where he's just nonstop radiating like powered energy, and you're like, what the fuck? This is insane. Like kind of like that.
Yeah,
he can't hide his power level yet.
Yeah, and it's really cool, but then we get like a big fuck you monster
that eats him. Maki gets cut in her, and the little things are trickling in there with like Maki's backstory about like her family. Like she's like, don't say my last name.
The one thing I will a ding against this movie is they constantly do fucking flashbacks to scenes that we just saw. I counted 5 actually, at least 5.
Like you can flashback the stuff that like we haven't seen this movie or maybe in the show flashbacks, but yeah, don't do it to.
If it's like there was a part where it was literally like when they were inside the stomach. They flash back to like when they were right in front of the school. And I was like, why?
Don't do that. If you want to do flashbacks to like, what were the words that they whispered to someone that they didn't have the volume of? Yes, that's fine. That's understandable.
Yes, totally. Because that's more context. But this is literally just, oh, stupid audience member. This is what we're talking about. Which they easily could have just had. There's like literally most of those times they could have had Yuta just say the thing out loud.
They're just talking to the normal shonen mindset of people. Short-term memory.
Like 10 IQ. But like most of the times Yuta could have just been like, oh yeah, Maki said that she can't curse power or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and could have just had him say it instead of us watching.
He also could just like don't show it, and then when the thing when he asks her about it, because like he could think back to when you said that you're not proficient in that. Don't ask me about curses and don't tell my family last name. Like something must have happened. Like I want to know.
And then it makes him more investigative. It's not just like him remembering something. Like it takes no energy to fucking remember something.
But yeah, they fall into the belly. They find 2 children. I guess that's all the children left.
Hopefully, at least the ones that could survive and could save. Yeah.
Also, Maki finds out that he's like a specialist ranking, which is like insane to her. And but yeah, she also gets like a cut, so she's like really like she doesn't have that demon resistance like everybody else has.
Yeah, so she's basically just fucked.
But she gives a pep speech to him, like the man up speech, like.
But it's more of just like bullying him.
It's the way she knows how to.
Which I thought it was going to be a scene where she bullies him to activate his stand, but it was more so just as you said, it was like a pep talk.
Find what you want to do in life, essentially. Like find your life goal.
It was more so just exercise demons and then everything will come later. It was basically like you have to do this, it.
Less like doing nothing, more summoning your demon.
And so we get this, really a lot of really good hand animation in this movie.
Well, yeah, gotta put that animation for the ring, man.
Yeah, so he puts the ring on and he basically like pleads to what's her name? Rika.
Yeah, so, his engagement ring that she gave him.
Yeah, so that we do get flashbacks. So when they were, was it supposed to be like they were both like cancer children
or like sick kids?
They were like
he seemed like a kid that was like a weak kid that was probably in the hospital to get like IVs.
He
constantly.
Always has like red bags under his eyes, and she I guess is supposed to be like weak too. But so yeah, they're like friends and they're like marry me.
I really thought there was gonna be a twist would just be like I was going to die from like my illness anyway. That's why I really
Me too. I really thought there was gonna be like an illness subplot, but there really wasn't.
Or not even a subplot, just a thing like I didn't have much time in the world left anyway. But I'm glad like you made me feel like I had a future or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised it didn't come.
But so what we do find out.
Also, okay, the flashback with her getting hit by the car
Yes, I was
is
gonna say.
fucking brutal.
It was. I was actually laughing. It was so over
like,
the top. I was laughing.
Like her head's caved in. He's like standing there like horrified, and like you just see a trail of blood too. I'm like, this is like, I was actually creeped out by it because like there's the image when she first like comes out of it's like generally unnerving.
That
too.
part was really cool. So yeah, we learn obviously
this movie got the horror stuff like in the
did.
show that really well.
I don't know if it was just maybe like seeing it in like a theater too might have helped, but I thought that like some of the horror scenes were done way better than in the show.
I highly agree. I like this is like fucking like unnerving to me, but not like jump scare horror. It's just like unnerving horror, which is my favorite kind.
Yeah, but so what we see, so the backstory to this character is this girl engaged to or asked to be engaged. He said, let's get married. She asked him to marry her. Yeah, so beta move on his part. But then like seemingly like minutes later, she gets her head fucking destroyed by a car. And we see
it's like it has to be the most realistic, like someone getting hit by a car or like anything, or just be this fucking like this destroyed human, this trail. It's like
destroyed 9-year-old.
Yes, it's like so fucked up.
It is really fucked up. But then the thing you're talking about, like we see kind of like a proto version of the curse that like grabs. It's like coming out of the shadows, grabbing his legs, like coming out. It was a really good visual.
She had a little like blood, like it was like coming out of her pool of blood, and like very good.
So he actually is able to like unleash this power. It's kind of like
it's not,
he doesn't have control over it, but he's able to like awaken it essentially.
When he's in danger or bullied, like it usually found a way to trigger.
It's kind of like the Jotaro thing.
Yes.
Like as you said, like like it would like behave kind of on its own to like protect him, but now this is the first time that he like willingly calls it out.
The Echoes Act 3 attitude of just killed the hose.
And also we learn, so the ring that he puts on that she gave him is like the way to conduct the curse energy. It's kind of like it's like a lightning rod for it essentially.
It's the way to just
a medium, I guess you would say.
Yeah, so a lot of characters use that before, like having a weapon to do that. So like he gave him like the sword, also just a way to like weaponize it essentially.
Which I thought that was really interesting too, because it's like
Nanami uses like the cleaver and like he wraps his tie around his hands like for a punch. Like it's really cool. It's just like it's a very similar like Haman as just a way to like use it like through something.
Yeah, like a really fun way to implement the power.
Yeah.
But so like the sword thing comes a little bit later, so we can kind of jump. So like
basically, the Maki adventure ends with him summoning the demon for the first like the full like on his own against the fucking giant blob and just rips it apart while he carries.
Yeah, he just has to basically leave.
He does his epic step and gets them all away.
And then we have a scene at the hospital where we get a little bit more of the backstory, and he says the thing where he's like, I think that Rika didn't put a curse on me. I think I put a curse on her.
And Goto's like, interesting.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to write that little thing
down. Write that down.
But so after that's when Gojo is like, hey, you need a weapon. And then he explains the whole thing of it, like, you can like pour the cursed energy into the sword. I was like, oh, that's really cool, because he's not like...
Also, his color is purple for the cursed energy, which is really cool.
Yeah. The whole thing with him is that so we don't really know why he has this super strong power. Like, it's kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
Because even Yuji's whole thing is like, Yuji's not like super great at curse energy. He's just like really strong, like physically.
And he's just benefiting off of Sukuna.
Yeah. So it's everything. He has like trained for it, but this is like such a huge curse that he's actually able to harness that energy, like into the sword and manipulate himself, which I thought was really cool.
Instead of like manifesting the demon itself, it's just trying to use borrow the energy for yourself.
Yeah,
like to use it seems like Sukuna, like use the energy use his chakra for like use that instead of like relying on the demon inside of you.
Yeah.
Which is another similar to the first season end.
We also get kind of a time skip here. It jumps ahead like...
It trains with Maki with
3 months, I think.
Some really well animated like sword training.
Yeah, I really love that part.
Very, very well.
Once he pulled the sword out and I saw Maki, I was like, oh yeah, baby.
They're eating good. And
also, we get the funny scene with Panda where Panda is like, Maki hasn't had anyone to spar with. He's like... Oh, hey. Maybe Maki has a crush on him.
Comes over there like, do you like big boobs? They like small boobs. They're like, that's you gotta get a pop out of the theater.
Yeah, that was the first like laugh. The theater was packed. So I was surprised there wasn't more laughter.
Second,
I really do think that a lot of the humor in Jujutsu Kaisen just does not land very well.
unless
like,
it's Toto.
Yeah, there's a few characters that are really good. Like
Toto
is one that was
some Gojo lines are like that too.
Yeah, but maybe it's just the translation. Maybe if it was delivered like in a dub, it would work better.
Why do you think we make so many funny inside jokes that are only funny to us for the show?
Yeah. We get like an awesome little fight scene. Also, it's funny too because like he's like, "Do you like big or small boobs?" He's like, "I like them bigger." He's like, "Oh, you're lucky then," like because Maki has big boobs.
They're trying to put that Maki ship with him.
Also, I don't want to think about how old Maki's supposed to be. I think they're supposed to be in middle school. I hate that idea, but yeah,
it's a high school.
It is technically Jujutsu High School. Okay, this high school. They're freshmen. It's not much better, but still.
I don't know, how old is Panda? Huh?
Isn't Panda
how old is Panda in Panda years? Huh?
Isn't Panda like famously like only 6 or something? I think isn't he supposed to be like really young because he's like a toy?
But how many of that in Toy Panda years?
In Toy Panda years. All right, I'll just make a number up and tell you.
But yeah, that basically leads into our second adventure with Togi and Yuta, where they go to get basically a little like closed down like shopping area is going to be knocked down to become a mall, and they have to exercise the demons in there. And Togi goes to go buy what's it called, throat medicine beforehand.
Which I think this is so fucking.
It is
funny.
very funny.
This is like fucking so video gamey of like. I need to drink the throat medicine so that my throat is healed.
I mean, yeah, he should have that on him. He should have his like under his vest. Should just be covered in like fucking medicine.
Also, what the fuck is it? Like, what is this instant throat heal medicine?
Japan medicine.
Because there's so many of those like fake like little hangover cure things, and like there's tiny little like it's like a little shot bottle.
That's the health regen in Yakuza games.
Yeah, it's all those like. Herbal remedies or whatever, like all that, like kind of whatever.
They're basically 5-hour energy shots.
I guess so. But yeah, so I really like the first little curse that he deals with.
Fish.
Yeah, it's like School of Fish. That's like I like they always do that thing where like the curses talk, but it really worked for me in this one. Like the way that they're
all like little kids like bugging their mom and
like it feels like when you're a kid and you're like at the mall and you get lost for a second, like or I feel like that's kind of what the inspiration for this curse is.
You want to get something and your parents are telling you no, or like like you're telling you it's basically I like that a lot. And then
it's like kind of like nagging like children, like
and then they didn't go too like really detail about his power too much, but like about like certain words affect his throat more, so like you have to really choose what he has to say. Where he just kind of goes like ham, maybe because he's like first year and like not really like knowing the effects of certain words.
I think it's also he thought this was it, so he just wanted to get it over with. Explode, and they just fucking explode. Yeah,
that kind of takes it out of his throat, but then he gets attacked by a Squidward nose demon.
I love the way this thing looked. It was so creepy. It was like an ape. I think it was kind of supposed to be like one of those. I don't know what they're called.
Like a statue.
Yeah, what are those big? There's like
Tengu?
those apes that have those huge noses.
I think,
they're like big. They have like big
I know
noses.
what you're talking about. Yeah, they're kind of like the hairier, pink-faced monkeys. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I feel like it was kind of inspired by that, but also had like tusks. It was really scary. Like it had huge eyes.
I love it. Yeah, it just stares and just doesn't move from his position really, and does like these light beams, hammer dawns.
Also very video gamey. That felt like a video game thing to me.
Yeah, but yeah, they basically just they had to run away from that. Like Togi's kind of hurt, but that's when he has to do his like epic step again of just like you weren't just being a weirdo. You were trying to check on me, make sure my resolve was good and everything, and protecting me and everything. You're actually being a friend to me. I'm gonna protect you, my friend, my best of friend.
Which I really do. I like that Togi gets the bonding moment here. Because, like, he's a character that doesn't get
he's
in
hard.
The first season.
It's hard for him.
Yeah.
Because, he had to, like, he had his own, he can't really talk, but, like, he had to do it by action, and I like that.
Because they even say, like, as a baby, like, he had this ability as a child.
He cursed kids, so he was always afraid to really, that's why he had to learn to talk through 3-4 words.
So it's really nice that he, like, connects with the new guy. Like, I thought that was really good. I wanted to see like another scene with them.
Our real main character.
I really just love the idea of like Yuta being like really close with Togi, even though Togi can't communicate very easily, just like Komi. Togi can't communicate.
Except when he just kills 100 classmates.
All right, what if? Okay, here's my Comey fan theory. Comey has the curse mouth, and she can't talk because
no, she's a specialist ranking, but like the Comey engine is her. It's just like everything just go her way. The universe eventually just like goes in the way of Comey.
It always makes her uncomfortable. That's the trade-off. All right, but yeah, so then it's just a kind of a. This was probably my least favorite like fight.
Yeah. There's some cool moment. Like he does. What did he do for? What word did he use to finish them all? Cause he does the epic throw.
So he does
medicine.
twist.
Okay.
He does twist, and it like twists the arm into like a branch. That looked really cool.
That was the first thing he did. But it's someone to actually kill him because he literally just like distracted him.
What did he say? He didn't because later on he says
he just collapse to the ghetto.
Oh, what did he say? He wasn't explode. He made him explode. I think it was something similar to like collapse
or die. No.
Was it literally die?
I think it was die.
I know he does say die later.
It was die. Cause I'm pretty sure he says collapse for.
Okay, whatever. This is.
It's not important. He kills the bad guy and they come off and they're best friends now.
Oh, he did say die though. I remember him saying die to something.
But yeah, that's and then we get our briefing. Who is this hidden character? I'm like, I didn't know who that is.
Yeah, it's Ghetto.
And yeah, he has his ID. Like, oh, this guy's specialist ranking. And then somebody just smells him. Like, I know who is here. And then he basically just calls a meeting essentially, and just like, yeah, he's up here. And we get this like the kind of like a flashback with him, or not a flashback, but like a current case that he's like a con man essentially, or like where like he's not conning money, he's conning money off of that one mobster, but he's also like getting the spears off of them and like collecting them.
Which I think is really interesting because like. He doesn't have to do any work, basically. Like they bring the curses to him, and he's also able to extort money by
to fuel his like cult.
Yeah, and this is where we see
a secretary,
all the new characters. Yeah,
the two girls that we talked about. One with a stuffed animal,
so
one with 15. A cell phone. That seems to be a cell phone tool user.
The one girl hangs people.
Yeah, with her stuffed animal.
Yeah,
and then there was the guy with the heart nipples, and then there was Miguel.
Miguel,
the foreigner.
The foreigner,
that Gojo called the foreigner.
I love that.
And then, was there another? I think that was it.
No, but so they kind of talk about like they have a plan. We got like a plan.
Yeah, so we kind of get like I don't think we actually see his power just like being able to just like having the collection of demons or curses inside of him and like collecting them essentially.
Well, we see the whole scene where he like sucks the one curse off the girl. So there's one like girl who's like. There's like a curse that's like weighing her shoulders down. And...
Also, this movie did explain why he's really hiding for the most part now, other than that one time he went to the restaurant.
Because it seems like he's just kind of has like a whole.
People know him. He's like he's a known figure.
Yeah,
in the
like people go to him to like this woman like brought her daughter to have the curse removed, which also so this curse was like way too. It was like a little too much. Yeah, so. The whole thing is like she's like there's I can't sleep, I'm like scared with this curse, and then you see the curse is like on her, like groping her. Also, and he says like oh you feel like you're gonna be raped, right? I was like, why would they say that?
Negative energy, man. She had that feeling, that negative energy of just like all these like men are creeping on me, and like the built up of negative emotion made a curse. It just like
maybe. Well, thankfully, our hero Ghetto removes the curse from her.
Also, one thing with her is the little girl who gets it off the design, like her like eyes are like hitting the entire time. And there's one the moment he says her eye just comes out like interesting.
It was very funny when that happened.
I was like, huh. I wasn't expecting that.
I liked her design. It was very cute.
Her design's very good.
She was very tall and she had very big boobs.
I want to see she can come back.
It felt like she was like could have been a character.
Yeah,
honestly.
she could join the cult.
There's too many.
But yeah, so Gojo basically knows like he's involved in everything, and then he basically just shows up to the school in a fucking pelican mouth with like with his man.
Which I really just love that like Ghetto's whole, so we didn't really see what Ghetto could do in the anime in like season 1, and his whole thing being like he's like a Pokemon collector, basically. And it's so
they are in balls.
He literally puts them in balls, and like the whole thing with like the pelican, like that is just so cool. That is such an innovative way to like carry people around.
That's why he's like arriving, like raised by because Gojo's telling the principal that we met before in the first season about like this is his plan, get everybody together. I think he's coming, and as you see when all the groups combine, because he shows up to Maki and all the groups, all of them together, and like they just like does an instant teleport to Yuta and just like. You like, hey there, buddy, old pal.
He grabs his hand,
and they're like, "What the fuck? He's so fast."
Yeah, and then he's basically. This is kind of where we get Yuta's whole thing, where he's like, Yeah, I hate people that can't do curse magic. Like, we should kill them all. You want to kill them all? And he's like,
My
and
wife
he shits on Maki.
My waifu's right there, man. I'm having my Shinji moment. Look at my eyes.
Oh, actually, thank you for saying that. I got a lot of Shinji from his
Yeah.
character design. There were a few times where he really looked like Shinji from Eva.
You're sitting in a chair for a lot of the times, but that's when like the teacher, every teacher shows up too.
Literally.
I'm like the power level right now. I'm pretty sure like one the chick with the hair is called I think Mimi or Meme.
Mei, yeah.
I remember, and yeah, we see like Nanami's there, like oh Nanami.
I couldn't believe when I saw Nanami. I was like, "Whoa!" Like everyone's
he didn't
here.
quit yet.
Yeah, you're right.
But
it was like an everyone's here moment. Like it was crazy.
And they basically just declare war, just being like, yo, we're gonna unleash 1 billion fucking demons or curses on the fucking Kyoto.
Kyoto and Tokyo.
Yeah.
So it's like basically it was kind of the whole gambit that we learned later was that Geto wanted to spread everyone so thin that he could just kill.
Kill Yuta and steal the because he said the curse is
Still
gonna
Rika.
Yeah, still linger and
So yeah, that was a thing. So apparently he had lied this whole time to everyone. They thought that he could only take stray spirits or stray curses, but actually if he kills someone, he can take the curse off them.
Also just
Which
like
I guess we do see him steal the curse off the girl earlier. So
yeah, the other thing when the principal just like said what like the plan and then like oh yeah, that's probably what he'll say.
yeah.
So. But yeah, we basically just gonna have everybody is gonna be split up, and it's basically just Maki and Yuta are just alone while everybody's spread out. And yeah, we have.
And then it kind of just goes into like the final act is just like a ton of fucking fighting.
Yes,
which is great.
Yes,
this is awesome.
It's just fucking like fan service fight at the wazoo.
It really is just fan service fight.
And so we get before like, everything kind of happened because we're kind of seeing like, the initial like curses coming in, get to killing like jobber guards in there, and we have a little moment between Maki and Yuta about the spirits, or her family, and like basically just kind of go over their life stories, kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole movie's been like ramping up to this moment where Maki like connects with Yuta.
I like she's just like I gotta go show when I return to the clan. I gotta show you how fucking better and just change from the inside, which is like her goal in the first season when she says.
And I love that he's like, "Hey, I can help you," and she's like, "It doesn't work that way. I need to do it myself."
And then she kind of had the flashback of like the entire clan just like mocking her and like kicking her out, and like her mother wishing she was never born, and just like oh,
sad. We love Maki.
Yeah, we.
And then also Maki has a great line where he's like, "Why are you doing this?" She's like, "Out of spite, of course." Like Maki's whole existence is just spite.
Good, I love her.
She's gonna die at like age 30.
Also, her fucking outfit, her casual outfit is chef kiss, very good.
I like her big thick socks.
I do love.
It feels
the thick
like
socks.
very juvenile.
But I
in like a really funny way.
Okay, in this fight, she is going to lose her big round glasses so we can get her superior square glasses.
Which unfortunately she does job.
Everybody.
I was sad,
job too, and Panda.
But she jobs off camera.
Yeah, well, we knew she wasn't gonna stand a chance against him. None of them were.
I know, but I still wanted to see her fight.
Panda literally has like 3 hearts, 2 job, and Togi you can say 1 word, then he jobs. So
he's
it's
too
really
strong
job squad.
To keep around. But that's like I wanted Maki to have one more fight. That's the problem. Because like I got really excited. I was like, "Oh, Maki gets to fight this guy."
Yeah, I kind of wish he like at least got there before. But yeah, so she gets the first one to encounter him essentially, and that's this little thing that you notice because like when Goto says like, "Oh, you wouldn't kill Jujutsu sorcerers, you would just like beat him as much as you could." But if Maki he like wanted to kill because she wasn't like a pure-blooded Jujutsu sorcerer.
I see her first to monkey.
I do like that.
Yeah, that's kind of like part of the tension too, where he insults Maki for not being like
The big thing with him about like just hating humans, just being like disgusting human. Like when he disinfects his robe after he helps them, because he's like, I don't want to go into a meeting and smell like monkey.
He would if he was Harry Potter, he'd be a Slytherin.
Sure. He's a real Snape or a real Draco Malfoy.
Yep.
I hope that's right.
Draco Malfoy.
Or his dad, the worst Malfoy.
Draco Balboyle.
Sure. Fuck Harry Potter.
I don't know.
The Secrets of Dumbledore, sure.
The Secrets of Dumbledore.
But yeah, and so basically it kicks off with a lot of parallel fights because during the fight initially happens, like Gojo realizes like I know the plan. He's not here. I don't sense him. So Panda. Togi, I'm just teleporting you I love the teleportation that he does.
Yeah, he draws like a summoning circle around them.
It just does a crater instantaneously. They're gone. I love that's so cool.
It was really good.
Yeah, and then they get sent there, and Maki's already jobbed out, and then they
Sad.
Yeah, but no,
Puddle of blood.
But yeah, I had him. I know Maki's fine.
Yeah, I know that Maki's not gonna die, but I was like, damn.
But then Panda, they come breaking through the wall, which is great. Like, whoa, he just goes, "That's rad." You came through the wall, and then Panda gets the coolest fucking fight.
Panda has one of the coolest fights in the movie. So Panda immediately goes. Well, he fights initially with Panda, but he immediately goes like gorilla mode.
Yeah, well, he fights it a couple of times, and they because he gets a hit on him, like, oh, he knows how to close quarter fight. Fuck. So that's basically when he goes gorilla and just like. Yeah, that's really fucking rad. He just does like some like demon like tendrils thing that are really cool because these are all those things that are inside of him that he's just using. Yeah,
he summons like a bunch of millipedes or centipedes to fight Maki.
And we know how like people think, oh, these guys all pure muscle, but like we see him in the first season where like he can have strategy in his fights to do like feint attacks. We're like, oh no, I'm making myself vulnerable. Like, yeah, fuck you. No, I'm not. And then it gets like a hit on him. Togi does like the classic, and that's when he gets like fucking like crushed. Essentially,
yeah. He says, "What is he? Plummet or something?"
Plummet. I think it's plummet.
He says plummet, and we see his head like cave in, and he's just
crumble.
Crumble.
I was waiting for like, please say crumble.
Also, I just remembered the die is a little bit later. Die comes from Yuta. Yuta says that. We'll get to that, but yeah. Then he jobs as well, but that was a cool moment. They before they like get fucked up, they run over to Maki and be like, Maki.
Well, and then when they all get beaten essentially, and
then Yuta's like, fuck, I guess I gotta
go school shooter mode now. But we also he doesn't fight him, and we get a lot of cutbacks to what's going on because they think, okay, we have to distract Gojo specifically before he can get back over there. So it's basically Miguel versus Gojo. Who has like a whip that was been like braided for like decades to like
imbue the curse energy in it. Yeah.
And then like he's like during the little bit of fight he had, like, he's already like halfway through its durability essentially.
Yeah, basic Gojo is so fucking strong. He just destroys
Gojo
everything.
Does some fucking rad ass shit. Like the moment where he starts like punching him and just like Ip Man punches essentially.
It was awesome because Gojo is like. He's mad that he's being stalled, so he's not gonna waste any time.
Yeah.
So Gojo just goes fucking ham. And
without the eyes.
Damn, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was fucking. That was probably one of my favorite fucking fights next to the panda one.
Yeah, it was so awesome.
But yeah, that's basically that fight, and so none of the villains, the human villains they fight, die. They all get away. So
yeah,
there's not really any stakes. Do we just talk about the fans? Like, do we talk about the fan service stuff, or do we just want to keep cutting back? Because
wait, I'm trying to think. What was how did the scene resolve with the two 15-year-old girls?
Because remember the one dude finds them in the alleyway, and then who shows up?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There were so many of these little like vignettes that happened. I like literally forget.
God, they didn't see Gojo, I don't think. But because I remember, because like they cuts to.
I think they did see Gojo for like a second, and then
I remember because Mei showed like with her giant fucking axe is killing a bunch. I love that animation of her like just like
that part was fucking sick.
I just her like you see her like fucking like unhinged face is awesome. I just love her stupid fucking hair.
We didn't see her like do anything in season 1.
She was just the board of the higher ups kind of thing.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. It was just like great little like you could just tell the guys working on this were
like
having
one
so much
person
fun.
We didn't see was the not Netero guy with a guitar.
Yeah.
But we also.
Well, he's from a different school. Well, I guess it was supposed to be like all hands on deck.
Yeah, they basically called everybody there because they were. I think they were all like teachers.
Let's talk about the fan service stuff first, and we'll get back to like the actual ending.
Because we get
Nanami.
All these jobbers are getting beat. Yeah, and then like Nanami like. Hope step back.
That part was crazy. That one
I was so happy to see like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, that one sloth demon thing or whatever was like whatever. That weird like
giant demon.
Yeah, it was just killing like everyone. And then Nanami's just like, I got you.
And just fucking destroys them all.
And there was a bit of a pop. It was really funny.
Yeah.
The guys next to us were like, oh, when Nanami like took his
loosened his tie.
Yeah, loosened his tie. And then when he took it off, I was like, whoa. And then we see
the world record Black Flash.
We see him do the fucking Black Flash, and I was cooming. I think technically Yuta had already done his, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting to see Black Flash in this movie because I maybe I'm wrong, but I think that the Black Flash was created like later in Jujutsu Kaisen, like when we see it like introduced in the anime and the manga.
Yeah. It could have been drawn just like an impact, maybe.
It was probably if even this scene existed. I don't know if
well,
Nanami was a
Nami's
character.
I don't think so, but
He probably
yeah,
wasn't a character.
getting
In
this
the
Nanami
original.
fucking doing his. I just love the visuals of his attack of like the ratio.
The Twitter ratio.
Yeah, his L plus R plus ratio.
Yeah, where he just slices everything in half. It was really cool. And the part when all the ants can't, or the big bugs, and you sort of like turning them into paste.
Also wraps his like tie up and just epic punches. Also, we see we saw very little of him the first season. The guy with like the hat / he puts on like a full face mask because he's the guy that I think Nanami called in to clear out the sewer. He's like, oh man, I hope Nanami can see me fight.
Yeah, I was surprised that he got like a moment. It was literally everyone is here. Like every fucking character is in this.
Because like later on we get the other squad with
that was the big. So first they show the archer guy.
Yeah, the blind archer.
Yeah, and I didn't even like recognize the first.
Like,
and I heard you say like, oh shit, and I was like, oh, and then we see Miwa
shitting herself, actually hitting something with famously shitting herself.
She did her like mini. What does she call that? Like a mini domain.
Yeah,
or whatever.
mini domain. Like this, her sheathing her sword to get like an attack.
Which is really cool. And we see everyone. We see the witch girl.
We see Mai just fucking unloading, getting.
Yeah. I fucking pog.
Was it Mimi or
Mimi,
Momo?
Momo.
Yeah.
The witch.
Yeah, we see her just doing recon. She does, and then we're like, "Where is he?
Where is he?" Yeah, the second.
Oh, we see Mekamaru too. He shows up.
Oh, that's right.
But before
the second that we saw Miwa, I whispered to myself like, "We're gonna see Toto." I was
so
excited.
And then like, "Where's Toto?" And then we see like, just like explodes. Like, "Oh, here he comes!" And then we see him and be like, "What are you doing? This like fucking demon is super powerful." It's like, my waifu had a Christmas special in a couple of hours. I'm gonna kill this thing now. And like, yes.
Yeah, he makes a funny face too.
I want to see him boogie woogie at least once. But
I know.
My best of friends.
But yeah, we just get all these like fucking epic moments, and it was just great. I pogged.
Yes.
Like Jujutsu Kaisen is a perfect like just bullshit series that I love. Like it's just so stupid, and when it does the action, I just like my brain it just loves it. It's filled with serotonin when I see.
That's some very good. I just love the energy visual as well.
It just looks great. Like the animation is so fucking good.
Yeah, because it doesn't do like. It's weird the way because like they draw some like the curse stuff. It's just like drawn like very like lightly. I guess I don't try like it's not like a like drawn like really hard color. It's like very like light like.
It's like a translucent kind of. It always gets like really thick outlines too, which are cool. I remember in the first season they do like kind of like a brush stroke too. Yeah. It's funny because Demon Slayer kind of does a similar thing.
It's a lot brighter for Demon Slayer,
and it's also like a metaphor in Demon Slayer. It's not actually supposed to be what's happening because in Demon Slayer it's just like swords. Like
your breathing techniques are just gonna like, come into this, or your attacks fast like lightning.
Yeah, but no, in this it's like, oh, I'm actually creating like a giant wall of energy.
I'm actually punching you with it.
I'm doing an epic anime punch to you.
So yeah, we basically have like the initial like then we kind of cut back to
it cuts back and forth like in a really like classic way.
The Yuta stuff where like all his friends are basically like KO'd and Maki's bleeding heavily and be like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Let's go, Rika. Let's go.
Let's go, girlfriend.
Fucking kill these guy. And also, so like at the same time, he's like fighting him. He gets Maki and the gang out of there, and he gives them like healing energy. Rika gets like jealous of Maki. He's like, why is it always her? And he'd be like, sit her down. They're my friends. That guy's the enemy. He's like, okay, master. I
really love that scene.
It's really good.
Like. It's so fun the way like Sukuna is really fun character too, but this is fun in like a different way.
Yeah.
And it's great. I really enjoyed this.
Sukuna's like the master, but like this time like the demon's like the servant to our user and like a simp towards him. But like don't hurt Maki. She's great. Don't do it.
Yeah, I love the little heal energy thing. It was really funny.
He was getting a little cocky there. But yeah.
And then this is where we both like pogged when this happened. He actually with curse energy he makes a megaphone that has like the sound like voice curse symbol on it. It's
literally the symbol of his like, that Togi has on his mouth.
Yeah, and he's able to do the curse speech.
Yes.
And what's this? He says die because Geto sends like a million curses at him, and he says die, and they all fucking die. And Geto's like, damn, you learned that shit in like under a year? That's crazy.
I'm gonna literally just make the spirit ball with all my demons in it, as well with this like god tier.
I have random.
I have there's like 16. I have 16 special class curses. I'm gonna use one of them, which I like the design of it. I wish I saw what it fucking did.
Yeah, that was. I really thought that was
maybe
gonna
it'll
be
come
like
back.
more of a thing. It probably will.
But I'm
sure that manga readers were like, oh, when they saw it.
And then he basically like, fuck. Oh wait, this was it? No. He also then does because his sword breaks. He's like, didn't he train you to like use your curse energy to not like break it? Like that wasn't. And we see it just cuts like a black flash. Like, oh.
And the way it was done was so cool too. It played like a guitar riff, and the screen was just like all like red and black. And then he did. And it's clever too, because the whole thing with Black Flash is that it's about the timing.
Yeah.
And what he's making fun of him for is
frame
like
perfect.
He's like, oh, aren't you did the technique wrong. You're not supposed to shove all the energy into the sword at once. That makes it break. But then clearly his plan was to time the curse expansion properly so he could do the Black Flash. Oh,
it's so good.
I was like, oh, I didn't even realize what was happening at first. And then I saw the lightning and I was like, oh.
The Black Flash, you would say.
Yeah.
But
it's just like, and I was talking about this with Sam. I hate how dumb and easy my brain is. Just seeing the Black Flash just makes me excited and happy.
You give an Epic Punch a gimmick of just doing these frame perfect hits is like, okay, this is actually cool to actually like make an Epic Punch an Epic Punch.
And it also does like trillions more damage than a normal punch.
I forget the scaling.
So epic.
I forget the scaling was like 4 times or like 6 times.
No, it is like times the 4th power. That is like insane.
So basically talks about then he does the spirit ball / summon, and then he basically goes to spirit like, I'm gonna give you everything, my body, my soul, and then we can be together. It's like we're gonna die together, Rika.
And then he kisses her.
Which the crowd went, what?
Yeah, there was a really funny reaction.
There was a literal gasp.
Yeah, people were like, huh?
It's like,
because he like leans in to kiss her big gaping like toothy maw.
Listen to that clip of like people at the movies watching the Pikachu talking in English scene, and it's like, just like that. But yeah, that's when she transformed into like a fucking like singled eye demon that shoots a fucking
I love
mouth
the eye show. The eye was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, they shoot a giant curse shot.
And he fucking destroys.
Yeah, it's just no contest. Like he destroys Geto.
He like loses an arm and like he's fucked up his eye.
Yeah, Geto's dying basically.
It's fucking sick.
But so I thought he was gonna be dead. I thought that the Yuta guy would just have like basically vanish.
I was like, I saw him in the second OP. I'm like, he's probably fine. They referenced him a couple of times in the first season. Like,
oh yeah, and it's funny because like I only vaguely remember that, and I remember Toto talking about him like fondly or something, talking about how strong he was.
I remember he's walking with somebody. I never knew who the person was, but now I do.
We know who that person is.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I remember seeing the OP and being like, who are these characters? And like, I thought they were gonna show up at the end of like after the baseball like episode, and they did not.
I know.
So that was just.
Remember, we got fucking like incel Edward Elric at the end of that fucking like the school tournament arc.
He did show up
instead of like any of these fucking like human members that he had, and that little child that we didn't know who that was.
We need to have like a list of all the like antagonists in the series
we'll have it on the wall for the podcast behind where Jim's sitting, and then it's like, and it's like we would take these down when these die, and then none of them ever get taken down. Other than the 2 brothers that die at the end of the first season.
Yeah, that was rare.
But yeah, we basically like he comes back. He basically comes back out of being knocked out.
So yeah, basically,
there's 2 things. Okay, should we talk about the Toto?
The Geto thing first.
The Toto. Yeah, that's.
So yeah, Geto like basically crawls. So he's like, haha, Gojo, you didn't make it in time, haha.
He's bleeding out in an alleyway and everything, and just be like, this whole thing, sending those 2 students for me to beat them. This was just to get him to summon his fucking curse, right? Like that's pretty fucked up.
And it's kind of crazy because like. A lot of what Gojo had done in this movie was basically like testing him. Like he kind of like was chaperoning for the first fight.
He does this for Yuji as well.
Yeah, and it's funny like how Gojo he does have that kind of morally gray thing.
Where like, all I wanted to do was just genocide all the Jujutsu sorcerers. It was beautiful just to have Jujutsu sorcerers versus Jujutsu sorcerers. It was great. It'd be like, yo, you're fucked, man.
He's like, all I wanted was total genocide, and I
just-
didn't get it.
You just like that's fucked, bro.
But then we see a little flashback. So they do the classic anime thing where Gojo says something, we see his lips move, but we don't hear it.
But we do actually do. Oh, we don't hear that.
No,
one.
we don't know what he
We hear a
says.
different one.
But we see
It's what gets told to Gojo about. Remember the driver shows up to tell Gojo.
Oh no, I'm talking about.
yeah, that's
so,
what
yeah.
I was thinking about.
What? No, yeah. What? So Gojo says something to Geto that we don't know what he says, but we see little flashbacks where apparently Gojo and Geto were students together at Jujutsu High School, and they were best friends, and there was a girl.
Yeah, there's a little girl. It seemed like
Well, I think she was their age.
maybe. Okay.
I think it was like
maybe
like
when they were.
the classic Nobora. Like you have to have the Sakura. There's a girl.
This is giving me like very Kakashi Obito vibe because there was a third girl involved between both of those. It didn't end well either. That caused a rift.
Uh-oh. Barreling towards Naruto again.
When we get there, when we do our podcast on that,
Never.
we'll watch a cut up version of Naruto where you don't have to watch all like 900 episodes of it.
900.
Doesn't Ocean have an Ocean's cut? We'll just ask him.
But yeah, so that was actually really compelling to me.
Yeah, and then
Geto is really interesting. I like him a lot.
yes, we get more character from him than we did the entire fun season because Mojito was more the main villain of that season than anything.
I fucking don't like Mojito. I like when Mojito was a girl. At
That schoolgirl episode.
The schoolgirl joke gag.
And like his name is not Mojito, but it's just
It's Mojito.
It's too late now.
It's too late. Anyone who's not familiar with this stupid podcast
I
will be like,
know.
why do you keep saying Mojito?
Because that's his name.
Yeah, this is his name.
But yeah, and like it's compelling, and like it cuts to black. We hear like a nice slash, but I'm guessing that Gojo doesn't kill him because I guess he had both arms inside.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I
But
honestly can't
I'm
remember.
guessing he could just get a curse arm, or just an arm full of curses. I guess that could be a thing, a visual.
If I type in Geto, I'll probably get spoilers.
Maybe. But and I guess maybe that slash was just him cutting open his brain thing, because I know he has that scar right there. So like, unless he just did that himself because he wanted to. There's like his Joker like cutting his lips kind of thing. He put a smile on that face. But yeah, I'm thinking like that he's obviously not dead, and he's like alive because of that restaurant scene, or unless he's like somewhere in between.
Yeah, that was my theory. I feel like he's probably like somewhere in between, or I guess he's just still alive. Like I guess that's probably.
I mean, he basically is just a curse, like a fucking like stock, like a warehouse full of curses anyway. So.
I'm just trying to find images of him in the
the restaurant, maybe.
Yeah, to see.
But like, it was his like right arm.
He loses his right arm. Yeah. No, he has.
I say it could just be.
He has both his arms, so
it's probably just a curse, like an armful of curses, I guess. Or,
yeah, we've seen that curse energy can basically reheal like anything.
Or like,
so.
oh, I got Mojito here. He just like, gave me a new fucking flesh arm. he can manipulate. Because he fucking manipulates bodies, so you probably could just like do that.
Well, didn't Sukuna like remake Yuji's heart? So you can probably just recreate any like
I guess so.
anything with Jujutsu magic.
But he was like the S class or special class curses.
Yeah.
But so yeah, basically Yuta wakes up and Gojo gets there. Rika, the curse is broken between, because that was like his entire goal was to break the curse, and like he did it in this movie. I feel like that was like his one ability with her. But no, he breaks it. She comes back to her original form essentially and says goodbye. It's a really nice little moment.
And we also do learn, so the whole like reason why this curse was so strong was because Yuta is actually a distant relative of Gojo.
It's so funny, like, oh yeah, we did that background check on Rika like 1,000,000 years ago.
We found nothing.
We had to do an extensive like thing on you though. We had to go like really deep for you. Yeah, and you and Gojo are like distant relatives.
Yeah, so they
also
like...
when Gojo shows up and he had like his hair down, like sunglasses, like who are you?
Yeah, I love that no one recognized him.
I love sunglasses. Yeah. Gojo superior. Like
I was sad when he took them off and put the blindfold back on.
The outfit of him with the glasses and like the hoodie, like tracksuit, like, it's very good.
Yeah,
that is like my favorite design for him. I wish he had that all the time.
Yeah, it was really fun.
But yeah, so basically we find distant relative. He has a power to essentially can just make curse, like he can just make strong curses for himself.
Well, I think the idea is that because he's similar to Gojo, he has just like that inherent like
infinite power.
Yeah, well, not infinite power, but he has like really strong connection to curse energy. So whereas like Yuji had to like Yuji had to basically get it from he had to cheat getting it from the fingers. He actually like Yuta has it like innately.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy Yuta as a character. I really thought Yuta was gonna die. I thought that was like the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that he's still alive and that we're gonna see him again.
Yeah. Essentially. Also, there's the one little note from that we heard from that they were gonna execute. Like his execution for him was just delayed. So like essentially he could just be on the run right now.
Also, it's interesting though. I wonder if they would still do it because the curse is gone. So technically the threat. Yeah, the immediate, because their real fear was the Rika curse. Like, they even mentioned it by name.
But we don't know like what the extent of his power. Just like depending on his emotions, can he make a new like all his curses that he can make end up like a demon kind of thing? But he probably don't want to put anybody through that again. But
yeah, I guess we'll see.
Like a weird puppet user kind of like puppet maker. If he probably went on like crazy, but
also I really like the scene where we see it from his perspective of him making the curse, like because he basically is just like don't die, and like it's really cool the blood effect that like causes the curse to like go on to him.
It like comes to like the blood like soaking into his feet kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a really cool visual, and it's also like. It's really scary that he was able to like basically take her spirit.
Yeah.
And like he used her spirit for like 6 years.
But then he says like I'm really sorry I didn't like know I didn't mean anything. But she's like I really just enjoyed being able to spend time with you. Like it's like just as fun as like being with you. Like
yeah, I bet she thought that as she was murdering those high school bullies in the beginning.
But also just like don't get yourself killed. Don't end up here quick.
But that was a really funny line too.
Yeah, and then he basically just goes off on his own adventure essentially, and which we learn in the after credit scene that he goes to Kenya
to
hang out with Miguel out of nowhere,
and he's eating food, which also got another pop.
Oh yeah, he's like deep throating the fucking food. Everyone's like cracking up.
Yeah, guys in the audience are like, whoa.
That was really fucking funny. And then they basically like because he's up there, so he's the one the OP as well with him. And yeah, I guess Miguel's not part of his group anymore.
Yeah,
or he said like everybody went their own ways. I think,
which is really interesting because like it kind of just opens up the idea of like these characters could show up or maybe they won't.
And or at least Miguel maybe is just not like with them anymore. Cause maybe the girls probably are, but like,
well, the girls are like fucked. Like they're deranged.
They're simps for him now.
Yeah, like they're definitely gonna be. Like with him till the end, especially since they've committed murder.
Now in the actual show, they're gonna be deranged 16-year-olds.
Thank God.
Thank God. But yeah, so I think it's just gonna be interesting. I want to know like why they are together now and like hanging out. And then Gojo shows up in Kenya,
and he's like
Miguel, the typical Kenyan name.
He's like, I'm building a theme.
I need your help.
This really was like a fucking. It was literally like the shawarma.
Gojo would be
He's literally eating like shawarma.
It pretty much is. It's really funny to
Kenyan
think about.
Shawarma.
But yeah, that's the movie. Very good.
It was just so fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like I just literally zero complaints. Like
I got some good Jujutsu Kaisen shit out of it. Got no neighbors moving away.
Yeah, it was everything I don't like about Jujutsu Kaisen was not in the movie.
My only complaint was having the flashbacks shit that we've seen. Like but that was like really it.
Yeah, that was just like I whenever scenes like that happen, I'm like I don't need to be treated like I'm a baby. Like I like dumb shonen stuff, but I'm not an idiot.
But seeing like the fan service of like the character coming back to have like an action scene was like Chef's Kiss was like delicious. Like
it's the one series that I don't take seriously enough that I love the fan service. Like I just appreciate it for being a fun fucking action.
But I just find it funny though, like I find Yuta the more interesting protagonist of the series.
So much more. I want
him to be give me the show with him and like Maki Squad and everything. I'm like, I remember there was no mention of Megumi really.
Yeah.
I'm like,
which I was kind of surprised at. I thought he would be like.
Because now
cameo.
Whenever they bring them in, I'll be like, I feel like these are like they have two protagonists of the same show, like are gonna be in there together.
It's definitely like Yuta will definitely be like, I think he might.
He'd be like the Nanami.
He'll get like one arc.
I think he'll be like the Nanami where you just have like an arc with our main character or one of them.
There's no way that he's gonna be like a permanent cast member.
He's too powerful.
He's gonna come in and even just like. Conceptually, but now, I feel like he can't come in for very long.
But Geto is like a final villain. I'm just like,
Yuta has to.
Yeah, like Yuta has to be the like Mojito is the one for Yuji,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
you give Geto either to Gojo or Yuta or both of them.
Yeah, better yet, both of them.
Or even I think Maki should get a fucking good hit, like a good fucking hit on him too now after this whole thing.
It's insane how like vital this is to like the series. Like for being a prequel movie, this is like required watching.
I know.
Like it elevates the experience.
But
for
can
me.
also just be the first watch for the series.
I was thinking about that.
It could be like you
it
should.
Could be, but I wouldn't recommend it.
You wouldn't recommend it, but you can get the basic gist of the show through watching this. The fan service won't hit nearly as well, but if you cut out all the fan service stuff, it would be.
Yeah, I think it would be more confusing.
Like if you cut out all the Kyoto stuff, really, and like you probably be fine just like watching like that.
Because you would just at that point you would just be so overwhelmed by all the characters. You're like, okay, this is doing nothing.
Yeah, but. Yeah, I like it. I love the scene, like the Maki squad is like my favorites, like Maki, Panda, and Togi. I like them a lot.
It's so great seeing them get like
being in the protagonist group, which is great.
It's just
even though they stole the show in like the fucking like second half of the show for the most part. Like I'm like my biggest thing that I want to know is Panda's other fucking power. That has been like literally the most lingering memory, like knowledge thing I want to know in the show.
I know it's one of those things. It's just one of those teases that they're just gonna keep doing it until we get it in like chapter 400 or something.
I wonder if they know it by now in the manga, but I've been really tempted to read the manga just so someone just be like for season 2 of this whenever that season 2 comes out, but like I'm trying to hold myself back for the most part.
Soon, please.
But
I like that we're both experiencing the anime.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, I might just hold back on that, but I'm tempted.
I'll curse you if you read.
I'm tempted to read the Zero at least. So.
I do kind of want to read Zero actually. I want to see how different, because there's no way that it had like all of these side characters and like I'm sure that they really expanded on a lot of the fights and stuff.
So I think my favorite fight though from this was the Panda one, but like the Nami doing the Black Flash is a good second.
It was awesome.
But you have any favorite fight?
The Panda fight was awesome. I don't know. I can't like pick one. There was just so much good stuff. That one cut with the white-haired braid lady.
Oh yeah, Mei.
That awesome fucking. When I was watching that, I was like, "This is anime." Like
that was
this
also
is capital A anime.
I was like, we didn't see her doing anything, but see her just have a giant fucking axe and just go being like unhinged. Like this is like a persona. This is like your persona character going fucking crazy.
It also just the axe looked really cool. It had a really cool design to it.
I love her just using a big fucking weapon as her ability.
I wonder if there was like some later manga stuff that they were like, maybe that's like a later manga reveal
most
that
likely
they brought into this.
They brought in all the teachers. Like we also didn't see the one teacher with like the scar. I fucking love her design.
Oh yeah, she has white hair too, right?
She had like she had like purple hair.
Purple hair.
She like no go. She was always the one with Gojo. She always was looking for her kids. But I think she was the teacher for Mai and Todo, like that's like their Gojo, like their teacher.
I can't remember the names. There's too many characters in this series.
But yeah, I like I'm surprised I didn't see her, but maybe she could be that girl that they knew. I don't know. She's the one that knows Gojo the most.
We shall see.
But yeah,
it was really good. After a while, we can only say it was really good so many times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I love doing this little Jujutsu Kai quest. I was so excited for this. It's so funny, like thinking back all those many months ago when we started this series, how much we hated it.
Yeah, like I said, is the listening to Jujutsu Kai quest is like a character arc where you see us not really liking everything. Urahime was the teasing lady I'm thinking.
Urahime, yes.
I love her design, but I had to even Jujutsu Kaisen teacher with scar, and I got it.
Wait, can I see her?
Yes.
Show me, daddy. Oh yeah.
I remember she had this one like fucking shot in the anime where she's like in like fucking overalls, and it's like I found that fucking it's like a fucking base ass design. It was only the top part of it, but she's like wearing like a good like casual outfit. I'm like,
oh, I do remember that.
This is the best outfit for her.
I think that was like one of the last shots of the season.
Like that outfit with like the tracksuit Gojo is like the best. but yeah. It's like a character arc listening to back to this where like the first half was like very mid, very low mid, but the second half was just like let's fucking go. Like Nanami's carried that first half. That's like the later half of the first part of it. But the second part, like, was like we had the Maki animation fight, we had like Toto, we had the fucking Nobara like Black Flash team up with Yuji was fucking amazing. Like, and even like Megumi had like that fucking like him coming the Joker as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much cool shit in this
Joker mode.
and this movie just took all that good shit that we like and just made it good.
And I think that what the movie does well that I think the show started doing better is it speed runs like the dramatic elements early on so that like we can get to the good stuff. Like we can get to the stuff that we want to see.
Also, just like in the show, like having like Yuji by himself is very whatever, but having him like being paired up with someone is like the best way to do him.
Yeah.
But also, like, you can't like him because why would he not want to be good friends with Toto? I don't understand. Like, what a fucking villain.
Absolutely insane.
Like, this man is a fucking like he's probably taught you more than Gojo did.
He's your brother. He's literally your brother.
He is your bro for life. Like, you bonded on like a level like deeper than blood. But on like taste of women.
All right. Anything else before we close it up and then wait a year before season 2 comes out?
But I definitely like if anybody who saw this or any other like, little mini information things, it's like how Jim's cursed thumbnail is going to be for this.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's funny I didn't think about that until you mentioned it earlier, and I was like, "Herm." There was actually one shot where Gojo like, opens his one eye really wide, and I was like, "Ooh, if I can get that one frame."
Like a front shot of Yuta that was like that too, where I'm waiting for like the circle from Photoshop just to like just big
the liquefied and big in.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything else to talk about though. But other than just to wrap it up,
wrap that shit up.
I can't plug it up. Have a different show.
Wrap up Gojo's eye bandages.
Fucking for our safety.
They're not really bandages. They're more blindfold.
I mean, he can see through them pretty easily. So.
Or plug up the.
No, that's not this show's bit.
All right.
But thank you all for listening. You can give this podcast a like. You can comment, subscribe if you haven't already. You can also check out any other content that's like either JoJo, Attack on Titan, all that other shit.
Yeah, we've done enough.
Yeah. You can follow the podcast on Twitter or me and Jim separately. You also can join the Discord as well. I think they have a Jujutsu Kaisen chat there, so if you want to talk about more of it or the manga shit, you can go there.
Manga reader.
And with that, I think that's it. We'll see you whenever Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, so the Kai Quest can continue, and we can pog even more.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Alrighty then. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
See you in another fucking year.
See you in a fucking year. Have a great evening. Or day.
Or night.
Or night.
At night.
Good. Bye.
Just end it.